and on, without a clue, without a sign, without a question yet. The real question to be asked, where have I been? I'm a shapeshifter at Booth's masquerade, hiding both face and mind, free for you to draw. I'm a shapeshifter, what a truth to be. Please don't take off my mask, revealing dark. Moments of calm, nothing to be found. A mirror in front of me is where I find an empty glass, reflecting there's a truth. It's every what's to be told. I need the mask. I'm a shapeshifter at Booth's masquerade, hiding both face and mind, afraid for you to draw. I'm a shapeshifter, chained up to my core. Please don't take off my mask, my place to hide. There's nothing inside. When it always me, burning down the walls, is there a way for me to break? I'm a shapeshifter at Booth's masquerade, hiding both face and mind, afraid for you to draw. I'm a shapeshifter, have no face to show. Please don't take off my mask, my disguise. Searching all along, give us what I long and long, without a clue.
Hello lovely people of the world, my name is G8RStreams, and welcome to this very special stream where we're not going to be playing a game, we're going to be editing one. Woo! Alright then, so in case you couldn't tell from the bazillion tweets that I've made about this, we're going to be editing one episode for Splatoon 2, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D, and Captain Toad Treasure Tracker Nintendo Switch. Now the reason why I'm doing all three of them rather than just one is because the editing process for each of them is a little bit different, and I thought it would be pretty interesting to show you just how different it could really be. Also, hello, James Rose and Peg Garman. James says, excited to see your editing process. Peg Garman says it's going to be good. Hope you guys are excited for this, because I've been wanting to do a stream like this for a very, very long time. You know what? Actually, now that I think about it, I think we did try this once with Tomb Raider, but it didn't exactly work out that well. Alright, Good Group is Gaming... I cannot talk, apparently. Good Group is Gaming says, behold, all of us are here. Hello, lovely people. Alright then, so without further ado... Oh! My PC setup! Alright, so... this is basically my editing folder. I got a bunch of projects on here, as you can clearly tell. I'm only going to be showing these three folders. Shoot. I just realized I have this on here. This right here, this is for a bonus video I plan on making on Earthbound soon. Nintendo Land needs a bonus video. This folder is for where I edit Paint Garments stuff. And more bonus video stuff. And we're going to go over here. Yeah. This is a big project. Alright, which episode are we on? I believe we're editing episode 7. We're editing... Yeah, we're in episode 7. Alrighty then. Good Group Paint Garment says, yay! Good Group is Giving says, edit folder, yeah! Paint Garment says, Aretha set up 1 pineapple out of 69 pineapples. Good Group is Giving says, there's a lot of files. Yeah, I have a lot of stuff on here. Alright, so starting off Splatoon 2, a couple things I should mention real quick. This, right here, there's about an hour of footage to go through here. We're not going to be seeing all of it right now, just simply because of how my process works. This right here is from leftover footage that from a previous recording that I decided to save for the intro for this one. What else is there? There's a lot of video files right here. I'm just going to make sure Movie Maker has it all set up before we do anything else. The reason why there are two recording sessions right here is because the online session for this video was actually recorded alongside the previous recording session. But I decided to just save it for this one. Good old Movie Maker. Yeah, the thing is, I did try using Sony Movie Studio for a long time, but the editing program there kind of sucked, so that's why I don't use it anymore. There's also a Windows 7 computer. Yeah, I'm very slow about updating stuff. But anyway, enough prolonging the inevitable, or however you phrase it. Let's get to editing. Also, if you can't hear the video audio from the recording stuff, if it's not balanced properly, please let me know. Actually, you know what, I can probably test them before we get started, just real quick. Gregor's Gaming says Sony Vegas is a lot better than Movie Maker. I've heard a lot about that. I didn't try Sony Vegas. I tried Sony Movie Studio. It was a decent program, but it took way too long to render stuff, which is why I ended up getting rid of it. So back to Movie Maker. I would like to get Adobe Premiere at some point. I've heard good things about that program as well. Alright, now we can begin the editing process.
We are observing a wild animal in its natural habitat, the balloon. I broke it.
So one thing I'd like to mention real quick is this intro video file thing. Long-time viewers may know that I had a different style for intros a long time ago, where I had a bunch of clips from game trailers playing over unnecessary epic music. I'd like to talk about this real quick, because I want to mention, for the record, why I changed my intro style. I didn't feel right just going back to a regular video style like what I used to do, where it just be the intro, with just me talking without anything like this. But the intro that I was using, there's a couple reasons why I stopped using that. The first reason is because they'd go on for like 20 seconds at a time, so if you wanted to binge watch the Let's Play, chances are you'd probably just skip ahead to the actual commentary part of the video. And while it was fun at the time, admittedly I've kind of run out of ideas for that, so that's a big reason why I don't do this kind of intros anymore. So we started using this kind of intro for Limbo and Portal, with the little swirly Lady Gear to You letters, which, by the way, quick shout out to the James Rolls for helping me with that profile picture. But, excuse me. But this is the intro we're doing now. We have just the logo coming in. And fun fact, that sound effect is the Tomb Raider secret finding sound effect thingy. Alright then. Bangorman says, "You'll float too, Gator." I'm scared. The price is the big thing to worry about. So in Vegas, your old intros were very long, like this one better. Figure Gaming says, like the old intros better. Yeah, I did like those old intros. Some of them were pretty fun. Let me see if I can pull up the folder for them. Back up, back up. Where are you? You're right there. Yeah, I still have all my intros in here. I was thinking about making a pie list of them someday. But I think my personal favorite was the last one we used. That one and this one. Those two were some of my favorites. They were pretty fun. Where were we? Let's play this. There we go. Alright, so now let's get into actually making the video.
3,
Was I synced up properly?
3.
Alright, it's a little too fast. So this is my setup for getting the commentary and the game audio synced up properly. So basically what I do is
3, 2.
I say 3, 2, 1, go and snap my fingers at the same time that I play the game. So this way, what I can do is I can trim the video at the exact moment that it begins to go back and forth between the two things.
3,
And then on the commentary side, I can take that clip too.
3,
A little too far. That probably works.
3, 2, 1, go.
A little too far.
3, 2, 1.
Alright, that sounds right. And voila, it's been synced up. What I really like about my microphone setup is that the microphone that I use, it is really good. Like, it never desyncs or anything like that, aside from a few things. Like, this tablet is a little old and it's actually stopped charging recently, which is why I'm using a different microphone now. But it's a really good microphone, and I really like it. Also, Final Fantasy VII on Switch is super awesome.
3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, so I never actually watched the beginning of the video. Usually at the beginning I just like goofing around, stuff like that. So I'll go to the video part of the video where we're about to get started on the thing. And for games like this where it's level based, what I like to do is like to jump ahead to see if I decided my commentary sucked and I want to start over, like what we did right here. We actually ended up starting over right there. So I like to speed on ahead to see if this is the version of the level that we end up using for the final video. I used to not do this, and it would take way longer than I needed to edit these videos. And then I quickly realized that I could just trim through it right like this and just do it quickly. Now, that being said, though, I don't just leave it like that. What I mean by that is that I could theoretically just trim the beginning and the end of the clip and just move on. But I don't do that, because I want to make certain that the commentary is actually working, and if I told future self while recording to have a caption on screen somewhere, then I can put a caption on screen. So the clip is going to be around here somewhere. We're going to have it trimmed at the exact moment that it begins to fade in. And then up here, alright, we're already doing the outro. We're also going to want to turn on the game audio. Yeah, my capture card's game audio can get pretty loud, and my microphones are usually really quiet. So that can be a bit of a nightmare to balance out. It was a lot easier on Sony Vegas, on Sony Movie Studio, but not exactly the easiest thing in the world when you're on Sony Movie. So, editing programs. Yay!
Chance to play Clan Blue.
We're a little too far.
Hey. Hey.
Alrighty then. Trim it up right there. Where's the thing? There we go. I'm gonna trim it right there once again. And this right here, I usually put like a transition right here, so just because I feel like it. I don't know why, I just feel like doing that. So now I can go over here. Where is the thing?
We're a little bit more of Octo Kenyan, starting with pause. Perfect. Mostly because I didn't get a chance to read the thing before I went into the level.
Alright, so right here, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to trim the commentary a little bit.
The level.
You'll see why in a moment.
Awesome.
Have it fade right there. And over here,
Spinning campground, ink me out, ink me in.
alright, so we'll trim out the part of the commentary where I wasn't talking. Get rid of all these. Right, no. This is one we need. Get rid of these two. Get rid of that. Alrighty then. So, now we've taken care of that, let's see how well the video is working right now.
We are observing a wild animal in its...
Also worth mentioning that these two recording sessions were recorded with different microphones. Like I said earlier, my tablet isn't really charging right now, and that's what I usually use to record these commentary sections. So I'm using a different microphone to record these, so that's why my commentary voice may sound a little different.
Natural habitat. The balloon. I broke it.
Yeah, pause. Okay, there we go. Reading through the chat. Pancarmen says, how hard was it to sync up audio when you're editing his Earthbound Let's Play? Okay, so, what was I saying? So, those of you who don't know, I'm editing Pancarmen's Let's Plays at the moment. So what he would do was, in his post-commentary videos, he would say something along the lines of, how do you word it? You say something along the lines of, I'm going to begin the video in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then he'd ask me to trim the video at the exact moment that you hear a tap, like when you press the spacebar or something like that. That's my same method for doing post-commentary, actually, where I had to go 3, 2, 1, go, and then when I snap my fingers at the same time that I press the spacebar to play the video. So it was pretty easy to sync up. What else is the chat saying? Gregor Gaming says, my microphone is great, it's just a pain to use because Skype screws up settings. The word trim sounds fun to say. Pancake's audio was the hardest to sync on the Super Mario Galaxy 2 video, mainly because like 6 minutes of his commentary was very hard to start, and on Pokemon Platinum would have not happened if it was using Movie Maker. Fun story. So, I'm losing my train of thoughts left and right. I was trying to say that for the longest time I wanted to know how to have a second screen on here so I could display additional information. And that was a big reason why I got Sony Movie Studio, so that I could do that with Tomb Raider Anniversary, because how we did that Let's Play was that we'd have footage of the original game up here in the corner from time to time. And recently I found a trick on OBS to do something like that. Look at that a bit later, but as for now, let's continue.
Hey everybody, it's the year to you, and welcome back to Let's Play Splatoon 2. In the previous episode, we were introduced to the industrial squeegees, and they're the most adorable thing ever. And we got a chance to play Clan Blitz on Moray Towers, and it was super amazing and awesome. And also,
it's probably warning guys that this video may contain spoilers for episodes that haven't been uploaded yet. Probably should have mentioned that before, but whatever.
Pretend this is invisible. I didn't turn on my capture card before activating the thingy, so now you can see it, so it's invisible. This video is a lie! Just like the cake. In today's episode, we'll be playing through a little bit more of Octo Canyon, starting with pause, perfect, but mostly because I didn't get a chance to read the thing before I went to the level.
One thing I must apologize for is that sometimes my computer has a hard time keeping up with the frame rate on here. The final rendered video seems fine, but hopefully it doesn't end up too laggy on your end, because I also have OBS open. Now, the reason why I trimmed these two together was that this right here, as you saw a moment ago, was actually a completely separate take. So what I did was that I had it trimmed at the exact moment that the text box would appear. So if I didn't point that out, then it's probably likely that you wouldn't have noticed. Aside from the fact that the sparkles are in a little bit different spots because the game randomly generates where those are going to be located at. So things like that can be a little bit tricky. But the reason why I didn't trim it at the fading screen was because I was still talking during this part. Alright. Yeah, it was a screen display 2 at the size. The size I want it to be. Moray Towers equals best stage. Yes, Moray Towers is my absolute favorite stage in Splatoon. It has the same problem with Flag with editing on Sony Vegas, but the final video does not. Yeah, editing programs are weird.
Because I didn't get a chance to read the thing before I went to the level. Spinning campground, ink me out, ink me in. Alright then, starting off with another hero shot level where we're introduced to a new game
turn the game audio down a little
those
bit.
ink furlers unfurl when you splat them. Stay sharp though, they roar back up on their own after a bit.
Now, the reason why I ended up redoing this level for commentary was because I actually kept mispronouncing ink furler and I was getting frustrated. So that's the reason why I cut that part of the video out.
So, The ink furlers are a brand new gameplay gimmick for the Splatoon series, and honestly, they're probably one of my more personal favorites. Basically how they work is, just like Marie explained, when you splat them with your own ink, they'll unfurl, but if you leave them alone for a while, they'll go back to normal, or if they get hit by enemy ink. So it's a pretty interesting gameplay gimmick, and what I really like about it is the fact that they use these for some really cool gameplay designs for Octo Canyon and stuff that we'll be seeing later on. So we're going to be going here, and like I said a moment ago, the enemy, like these sprinklers, will cause these to unfurl faster, so you definitely want to keep an eye out for that. And now we can go over here, and don't get cooked, our catchphrase is better. As much as I love Marina, I have to agree with Marie there that the Squid Sisters catchphrase is better than Off the Hooks. Sorry,
Stay
Marina.
fresh!
So you can use the ink furlers to destroy those things. Blah, cannot talk apparently. Let's go vertical. Ooh, fancy. And we can go over here and collect our first reward, the Sardinium. Yay, I remember what they were called. Whee! So let's head over here, and still, the Sardiniums, they still look like beef jerky. I don't care what anyone says, they look like freaking beef jerky, and that's what I'm always going to see them looking like. That was an improper grammar announcer. It looks like a giant ink slide. Let's just do these things in an open amusement park. You know what? These would be really fun for an amusement park, to be completely honest.
I'm gonna pause the video real quick to explain something. The dialogue that happens when you're playing through the single-player campaigns in this game, this is one of the things that I wanted to improve upon in comparison with the original Let's Play. Because if I'm Let's Playing a sequel or anything like that, what I like to do is look back at a previous game in the series that I've already covered and see what I can improve on. There are a couple things that I thought needed to be changed when I was going to start Splatoon 2. We already talked about one in a previous episode during the Let's Play where I was kind of biased in my choices for which matches we're going to be demonstrating during the original Let's Play. Whereas I rarely ever showed off actually losing a match. That's something that I definitely wanted to improve upon during this series because I want to show the fact that you can't win them all when you're playing online multiplayer, and that's perfectly fine. But another smaller thing that I noticed was that the dialogue boxes, they're pretty funny in Octo Valley, but I didn't really talk about them that much. So what I'm doing this for the series is when I'm practicing for these videos, I'll make a note for which dialogue boxes are pretty funny and I should stop for a moment to read them. This one, for example, when I was playing through it, I was paying attention to the dialogue boxes and saw that one. I was like, you know what, I'm going to stop whatever commentary I'm going to say at this point and focus on that piece of dialogue. And the really nice thing is that games like 2 Meter Trilogy or anything that's voice acting in general helped me really prepare for knowing mentally how much time I have to finish my train of thought before the dialogue box appears. Grimper's Gaming says, I played that level in Splatoon 2 not too long ago. Oh, I keep forgetting you have Splatoon 2. How are you enjoying the game? Pink Garment says, stay fresh equals best catchphrase ever. Yeah, this is so much fun to say, stay fresh!
Splatoon Roller Coaster Tycoon confirmed. That'd actually be really cool. Anyway, let's go over here. And, well, at least classic Roller Coaster Tycoon. If they try making a Splatoon crossover with modern Roller Coaster Tycoon, then we may have problems. But that's not for right now. The important part right now is we now have both of our collectibles. And I remember where the second square was in this level. Yay! We don't have to play this level again. Aw, thank you, Marie. I do make this level look easy. At least I hope I do. Final checkpoint. I'm pretty sure I saw Zapfish.
Another thing I'd like to say real quick is comments like that where I was like, I do make this level look easy. There are times where at points like that, I contemplate editing it out because for whatever reason, I feel weird complimenting myself. I don't know why, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Should that stay in there? I'll leave it in there, I don't care.
You can't see the shielded slabs from the front. Okay, we probably could, but I don't want to risk it right now because there is a much cooler way that we can fight those guys. So we want to go over here, use these ink flowers, and boom! That's just so much fun. I love that so much. Now we can use these canyons to destroy the Octarians over here. And I gotta say, With Nintendo Labo VR being a thing, can you imagine what this would look like with VR? That would be really cool. I doubt it's going to happen because Splatoon is probably one of those games where you'd get really bad motion sickness if you try playing in VR, but it would be just so cool, even if it was just limited to the canyons. But anyway, Zapfish! And there was a canyon scene in the background, it was super awesome.
Alright, so I know from memory that I'm going to be quiet for a few moments, so what we're doing is just skipping ahead a little bit until we get to here, where I have to read stuff.
In go.
There's also a motorcycle in the background, I didn't notice that. That's not good.
In go.
Alright then. Put that down here, and let's see how well that transitions.
In the scene in the background, it was super awesome.
Ben Carmen says just keep it. Alright, so I'll just leave it in there.
Inkopolis holds its famous card game tournament once a year. This year, first time entrant Zofonso appeared on the scene and promptly set about decimating the competition. He walked away with the first place trophy. So we haven't gotten a chance to meet him yet, but the character that Sucker Scrubs is referring to, Jofonso, is the character we'll meet in the Inkopolis Square when we take care of the shopping episode. There will be an Inkopolis Square episode, just like there was in the first Splatoon Let's Play, but it's probably not going to happen for a little while. I have an idea for when it's going to happen, and it's probably not going to be for a little bit, but it will happen at some point. Anywho, we go over here, and also pretend this one is invisible too, because I did turn on my coverage card before activating both these things. But anyway, now we're going towards Octoling Strike right in the reef.
Alright, so let's turn the commentary right there. And right here, when this goes away. Ooh, excuse me. One more time, I'm gonna breeze through the video real quick to see if we were able to do it on this take. I think we did, but I'd just like to double check. You know what, we did, but there was a long period of time where we got lost for a moment, so that's gonna be fun to edit.
Apparently.
Alright, so I stayed quiet for a bit longer than I thought I did, so what I'm going to be doing during that situation is have both of these trimmed, and I'm going to turn the game audio up during both of these. That can go away. And bloop. There we go. Another thing I'd like to mention is that, actually, let's demonstrate right here. So, this is a part of the video where I started thinking about what I'm going to be doing for thumbnails. So, the thumbnail process is kind of interesting, and it may not seem like it considering my thumbnails are super generic, but the reason why I don't do any big fancy thumbnails like Chuck Conroy or James Earls or anything like that is because I like it when it's just the game and nothing more, if that makes any sense. I don't like big fancy thumbnails on my own videos. So my mindset for making a thumbnail is usually trying to figure out what the viewer is going to be thinking about when they get to this point in the game, if that makes any sense. So if they're looking for a walkthrough, if they're having a hard time with the level, there's usually going to be something that stands out about the level that they remember when they look back on it. So in this case, they're going to be probably thinking about Octarians or Octolings or anything like that. So this right here would probably make a decent thumbnail for that part of the video. But I don't make the thumbnail quite yet. You know what? I might take this time to actually demonstrate something else. So I'm going to be going over here. There is one exception to that thumbnail rule that I'd like to mention real quick. Let's go into playlists. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Ignore this. Yeah, I have a collection of Flipnote videos that I like to watch from time to time. Where is the thing? Where is the thing? Where is the beautiful playlist of awesomeness? I cannot find it. I'm trying to find the playlist for the Mario Kart 8 collab series. I can't seem to find it anywhere. Where the heck is it? Mario Kart 8, where are you? There you are. I don't know why that takes so long. This is a bit of an exception to the thumbnail rule. For those of you who don't know, James usually does the thumbnail work for the videos on the game channel, but this was an exception where I made all of these myself. This is an exception where I make the thumbnail a bit more special than usual, and I really like how this one turned out with the cup emblem in the center with the 4 tracks behind it. I really like how that one turned out, personally speaking. But I don't like doing that for big, for my own personal projects or anything like that. My mindset may change at some point, but as for now, that's not going to be the case. Greg's Gaming says, a pancake, have you and James recorded the Mario Kart 7? No one do yet. Everyone knows the thumbnail's the best, better than the... Okay. Let's get back into the video.
Apparently, 8 mini Zapfish combined have the power output of a normal Zapfish. Seek out the Pillars of Light and recover the mini Zapfish. Alright, so the Octoling levels have made a grand return in Octo Canyon, and they work pretty differently than how they did in the first game. In the first game, you could kind of just breeze your way through it without having to fight the Octolings or anything like that, as long as you knew what a Zapfish was. This time, however, you are going to actually be required to explore these levels rather than just rush through it. So I think this does a better job of making you have to face the Octolings head-on. And that's kind of the whole point of these levels in general, is that the AI for these ones is supposed to kind of be reminiscent of a good opponent from the online multiplayer and things like that. So I think this does a really great job of preparing you for like an actual Inkling versus Inkling battle in a online multiplayer match and things like that. That's probably not a very good way of wording that, but I honestly can't think of anything else right now, because reasons. Yay! That's the best excuse! Ouch. The ink bomb hurt me. That was weird. Well, that was my fault. Eh, it doesn't matter. Now we have 4 to go. So we may want to go look for those collectibles, because just like every other level, there's a Sunken Girl and a Sardinium in this level. And luckily, I know exactly where they are, because they're not really hard to find. Actually, what am I talking about? I struggled to find them in my first playthrough. So, yeah. I don't know what I was saying right there, because the collectibles, the Octoling levels, are actually fairly difficult to find if you don't know what you're doing. And the reason for that, I'll explain after we get all these eggs, because it always bothers me when they're up there. We're going to be going over here. Going over there. Excuse me. Please get on top of the thing. Get on top of the thing. There we go. Alright, so the first collectible is going to be behind this wall. And the only indication that you'd even think to look in that area is that there's a spot wall right there. So that might make you a little bit curious to go look for it. And we got splatted. That wasn't very nice. Alright, let's get back over there. And we're over there. Okay. We're going to use a Burning Bomb to get over there faster, because that's awesome. Yay! Ah, get away from me! Where'd it go? Right there. Alright, so the best advice I can recommend if you're having a hard time fighting the Octolings is they're not very good at just staying out of your ink, so if you're able to cover the ground in your own ink, they'll sometimes go into squid form when they'll try going into squid form in your ink and they'll get stuck occasionally. So that seems to be the best strategy for fighting the Octolings if you're having a little bit of trouble. I've been playing Splatoon for so long that I don't really have a lot of problems fighting these things. But I do understand that newcomers can be very intimidated by fighting the Octolings.
One thing I'd like to mention real quick is one of the explanations that I had for this video where I was talking about comparing it with the original game. The comparison I made, I believe, went along something along the line of having the Zapfish spread out encourages you to explore the level a bit more. This explanation was actually inspired by the Otaku artist Splatoon streams. Because when C was playing through the game, I noticed that C was kind of rushing through the level, not really doing a lot of explorations, and just going straight for the goal. So this is something that really helped me figure out how I want to explain the differences between the Octoling levels between the two games. So, Dark Artist, if you're watching this, thank you for your streams because it helped me out with my own Let's Plays. Yay! Hashtag thank you, Dark Artist in the comments.
So we can destroy this blast wall. And eventually, there'll be a box up there, and so I can just grow. Yay! So now we only have the Sardinium to find. Oh yeah. Right there is a bomb launcher with a special weapon we haven't gone over yet, but I'm not going to be using it right now because I honestly don't really like that special. It just basically gives you infinite splat bombs for a brief period of time. It's interesting, I just don't use it very often because all the weapons that I made don't actually have that as a special. So that's interesting. Destroy the Octoling, and collect the next Zapfish. So you can collect these Zapfish in any order that you want, it doesn't really matter which ones you grab last. So just keep that in mind. The order that I'm getting them right now may not be the most efficient method to go grab them if you want to do these quickly. It's just the method I'm grabbing them right now because it's just the way the method that I feel like. I believe the last one's over here. No, that was a not Sardinium thing. Okay. I was pretty sure right there, but it's not. So, yay! Alright, so I'm gonna jump cut ahead over towards where the Sardinium is, so hooray for editing!
Hooray for editing indeed, because now I get to demonstrate another trick I like to use. So I'm gonna trim the video right there, jump ahead to see how far we go. We don't go too far, so that's pretty good. Ow. I just smacked my hand on the desk.
Wait, I think you're here. Can I just say that sunset of...
Alright, so this is where we trim the video. We don't go too far, which is pretty nice. I want to double check to see if we got any mini Zapfish things before we do anything else. Alright, so the trick that I want to demonstrate, I want to talk about what I usually do if I'm speeding up footage, but that doesn't seem like something we'll be doing right now because we didn't go very far. There's 6 right there. There's still 6 there. Okay. So Movie Maker's transitions are a bit weird because if you just transition like this, then it kind of digs into the next area and it can desync the video easily. So what I like doing instead, have that go a little bit further, and then have the next clip transition. That's not the thing that I wanted to use. Hey, there we go, that's better. So now we can have a transition. And voila, it is smooth. Also, Control S is probably your best friend forever. So I like using Control S to save my progress every few minutes, just in case the thing crashes. The Gaming says opinions on my thumbnails. How do you do your thumbnails? Octoling levels in the game are a little better in this game. Yeah, the Octoling is going to be a bit easier in this game. I don't know if that's just me because I've been playing this Splatoon series forever, but yeah. Gaming says, how do you do your thumbnails? My thumbnails are pretty simple. So going back to this area over here, for example, if this was going to be the thumbnail that I end up using. Just take a snapshot, and then go into the folder. This is the episode 7 thumbnail. And bloop. Now that can work, but the problem with that, that's something I wanted. There we go. The problem with that is that you get this kind of ugly black outline on it. I honestly don't know why that's there. I really don't know why that's there because I record in full screen in 1080p. And these videos are being outputted to 1080p, so I don't know why it's not stretched to the full video. But to fix that for the thumbnail at least, what I can do is go into a snipping tool. That may have crossed the footage. I really hope they didn't. Okay, it didn't seem like it did. Okay, so we got a little bit of a black outline right there, but you basically get the idea of it. This is just how I do thumbnails. I could probably make them look a lot more professional because I could do custom thumbnails, but that's just what I personally like doing. Sometimes, one of the options for YouTube, one of the thumbnail options that YouTube will give me, I end up using one of those instead because I took a pretty funny clip from the video. So we can replace that. If you want an example of that, I believe it's around here somewhere. We can backspace a little bit. Right here. This was one of the thumbnail options that I had for a Tomb Raider Underworld episode, where I had a caption on screen for just a split second that said "mind blown," and that ended up being one of the options for YouTube thumbnails. I came very close to making this a thumbnail, but I decided against it because I liked how this one turned out better. But that's just my personal opinion. Going back into the video. Control save. Alrighty then. Bank says, I used to let YouTube choose my thumbnails, but for the Earthbound finale, I chose a screenshot from the game. I put a PNG of the Earthbound logo on top. That's how I do thumbnails from now on. Yeah, I really liked how your Earthbound finale thumbnail turned out. Also, Green Gaming, I don't know if you asked this, but your thumbnail style, I also like yours. I also like how you do yours as well. Everybody has their own unique thumbnail style, and that's something that I really like about our Let's Play community thing.
Head over towards where the Sardinium is, so hooray for editing! Say that sunset over there is gorgeous.
This is another part where I may make it a thumbnail. If I decide against making this a thumbnail for the video, then I'll just keep it. I'll just keep the picture anyway because that thumbnail is gorgeous. That sunset is gorgeous, I should say.
Can I just say that sunset over there is gorgeous? Why is this game so pretty? This is such a pretty game. Alright, so I haven't found the Sardinium yet, and I just wanted to say that for the record, but I figured, we're already here, might as well grab these Zapfish over here. But now there's only one left, so once we grab that, that's the end of the level, so yay! But I think I know where the last Sardinium is. I think it's around here somewhere. Maybe not very much that way. Are you over here? Wait. I think you're around here somewhere. You're not in the Zapfish. You might be over there. Aha! There it is! I knew it! Get the Zapfish! Get the Zapfish! Yay! We did it! Also, as you can probably tell right there, the Inkling now shows visible signs of damage when they lose their armor. It's a nice touch from the first game, so it's pretty interesting. But we beat the level. And now the way to the boss has been opened. Net the freshest gear around. Get the abilities you've always dreamed about. Orders will be fulfilled by that weird kid with spiky hair. Interested? Send inquiries to Annie. And with that, I'm going to be you guys in the magical land of alternate save files, so cue the editing transition. Yay! Hey, transition. Yay!
Alright, so that's going to be the end of the Octo Canyon portion of the video. So I'm going to be doing right here, to make future Blade Gear reviews a job easier. Let's get rid of all that. And head back down here. So what I'm doing right here is, this is going to be where the next episode is going to start, so I'm going to save this as a separate project, change its name. There we go. Next episode is ready for editing. Let's close that, go back into episode 7. Oh, excuse me. Hope hopefully it loads okay. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Load faster, load faster, load faster. And while it loads, I'm going to read the chat real quick. Garbage Gaming says, I pick a frame of the video, then zoom in and add text if needed. Pink Armor says, the sunset makes the game look like an anime. I render one frame as an image file before editing text. Cue the editing transition. Yay! Alrighty then. So, where are we going over here? As soon as it finishes loading, that'd be nice. Alright, so this is where the next episode begins. So, bye-bye. So let's get rid of that. Alright, so I'm going to be doing a little bit of a cheap shortcut right now because I made a mental note for myself during the next online recording session. We're going to be doing a Rainmaker editing portion thingy. So I made a bit of a mental note for myself that we had a bit of a hard time with these matches. I believe the first one was fine, but usually if I'm having a hard time with a match in this game, I usually just stay quiet, so I don't. I'm trying to, so I can focus more on the game. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to jump cut ahead. Let's go over here. With the Rainmaker. And because this screen starts off dark, we're going to have this fade to black, so it'll be smooth transition.
Editing transition. Yay!
Take care of that. Get rid of the commentary and move it over here. The reason why I do that is so I can limit it to the background noise as much as I possibly can. Because I get a lot of background noise over here.
Editing transition. Yay!
A bit of a fair warning. Sometimes if I'm having a hard time with the online multiplayer, my filter for profanity isn't as good as it should be. So sometimes the profanity will slip out when you're playing an online game. So if that does happen, I will bleep it out. But I'll just say for the record right now, if that happens during an online match, we're going to be editing this video. I do greatly apologize. I usually don't swear during my videos. But yeah. Alright.
Wahoo world!
Alright, the game audio is a little too loud, so let's turn that down. And a little bit higher. There we go. Also, editing these videos is a little bit weird right now because one of my headphones died because I spilled chocolate milk on it. So, yay, editing with only one earbud. Whee! Kibber's Gaming says, no, whenever I LP slide 4, I'm going to edit it out the loading screens as they last over a minute long. Sonic 06 had better loading screens than slide 4. I remember when I was in film class, we always use Fade to Black to end our projects. Funnily enough, I always edited the projects. Yeah. Something that I realized is that most Let's Players have some form of editing background before they even start making videos. Not all of them, but some of them do. Like for example, in my case, I used to make little animated movies in Windows Paint, and I would edit them myself. This was years before I started making videos, so it seems like most content creators have some kind of background, whatever they're doing before they make their videos. Like I know Chuck Conroy said he wanted to be a film editor before He became a Let's Player, so that's pretty interesting.
Wahoo World! Alright then, welcome to the magical land of alternate save file. I kind of like this stage because it's a theme park, but actually playing it is a little weird, I'm gonna be completely honest. What's neat about it though is that one of these Splatfest stages was actually kind of inspired. The stage because, whoa, there's, what? There's doorways there? Well, that's just how often I play Rainmaker. I didn't even know that this stage changed when you're playing Rainmaker. That's actually kind of cool. But yeah, what I was trying to say was I kind of like this stage because Wahoo World is based off a theme park, and I absolutely adore theme parks. But I'm gonna be completely honest, playing it isn't actually all that fun because the central column where it rotates and makes it hard to navigate, it's just a little bit weird in my personal opinion. But enough about Wahoo World, because now we're going to be playing through Rainmaker. And Rainmaker also went through a couple changes when you were playing compared to the first game. So what I mean by this is, in the original game, the Rainmaker would activate a tornado-like attack. This game, however, it kind of launches an explosion kind of thing. Not really a tornado. But it's a very different style of attack than what was in the first game, so it takes a little bit of time to adjust to it if you're a veteran of the first game. So it's interesting. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it, to be completely honest, because I was so used to how the Rainmaker worked in the first game. I actually kind of liked it in that game. I'm not very good at actually using it in this one. Although, to be completely fair, I wasn't actually that good with the Rainmaker in the first game either, so I can't really say that I'm better within this game. But it's an interesting weapon. It's an interesting design change. It's not bad. I can certainly see why some people would enjoy it more. But personally speaking, I'm just so used to how the Rainmaker worked in the first game that it's a little bit distracting, for the lack of a better term. Rainmaker, however, as a whole, is still a really enjoyable ranked battle mode. It's not my personal favorite. That war goes to Clan Blitz and Spot Zones in the first game. But this is still a pretty enjoyable gameplay mode. We can at least install them so that they don't go any further, please. I'm asking nicely. One thing that's worth mentioning is that the timer on the Rainmaker player, that tells the player holding the Rainmaker how much time they have to hold it before it explodes. Because if you don't take the Rainmaker to the goal before the timer goes off, you explode. It's not very nice at all. Another thing that's worth mentioning is that this is not Clan Blitz, where if you're holding on to the Rainmaker, you cannot use that to you cannot super jump all in the Rainmaker. So you want to keep that in mind. What the heck? I splatted you! I splatted! Okay, there we go. We're definitely not going to win this one. But oh my goodness gracious gravy. Alright, make a path for you. Hopefully they'll follow me. Where are you going? They're going over there. Okay. I'll clear a path for you over here then. Where are you going now? Okay. There's somebody behind us. Hopefully they can take care of them. Watch your bag. I'm playing support for you right now. I shouldn't have gone down quite yet. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, 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 no. Ah! Okay, seeing those kind of names where they have the initials in close parentheses and things like that, I get a little bit nervous seeing those because I see those a lot in tournaments, however you pronounce that. So I always get nervous that I'm playing against like a super competitive player when I see those names, and it always kind of throws me off for a bit. Alright, they lost the Rainmaker. We still have a chance. We can do this. Get you. I was aiming too far to the left. Okay, okay. Alright, super jump over to you. We lost the Rainmaker, that's a good thing. That's good for us. Why? Oh, okay. Okay, now I'm fine. Where are you going? Alright. Oh my goodness. Okay, they're being a smart person and going the way that I was not going, because I was going a kind of a stupid way. Okay, we can do this.
Kids can't tell. I make really weird noises when I play Splatoon.
We can do this. I probably shouldn't hold the Rainmaker because I'm not good with controlling this thing.
Sorry.
We can go into overtime. Come on! Come on! No!
Okay, I'm gonna put a volume warning right there because, wow, I got loud. And this is a fun part in editing, trying to figure out how to make my captions readable because it's not the easiest thing in the world when playing a bright, colorful game like Splatoon. Warning, I'm about to make your ears bleed. That's a good caption. Pink Garment says that sounds like a drunk chicken. Alright, make it bigger.
Okay, we can do this. We can do this. I probably shouldn't hold the Rainmaker because I'm not good with controlling this thing.
The caption's going on for a little too long there. Let's see how well that works.
Because I was going in kind of a stupid way. Okay, we can do this. We can do this. I probably shouldn't hold the Rainmaker because I'm not good with controlling this thing. We can go into overtime.
I'm sorry, that scream. Let's read the chat before we move onwards any further. Wow, there's a lot of things I gotta go over. Pink Garment says chocolate milk is deadly. Quick Gaming says I wanted to become a game dev before us playing, and I still do. I wanted to make movies, which is part of the reason I became a Let's Player. Now I want to make games. Rainmaker was the people who made the Ratchet and Clank movie. I think they went bankrupt. Movie making is my second dream job after anything. Hello, Pig Manipulator. Nice to see you here. Big Garment's the same. No, it made it sad about the Rainmaker as they were planning a Sly Cooper movie, but was canceled after being a movie disaster. You sound like a drunk chicken. Unless you go to Sly 5 someday. Sadly, the people who work on Sly 4 say they don't have any plans for the Sly 5 a few years later, but be the worst is they ended Sly 4 in a cliffhanger. Can I just say, cliffhangers are like the dumbest thing in video games ever? Because more often than not, cliffhangers never get resolved. Epic Mickey 2. That cliffhanger has never been resolved because Disney shut down Junction Point. Half-Life 2. The Sly Cooper series, like you just said. It's like... Oh, man. Oh, and Xenosaga. Not Xenosaga, Xenoblade Chronicles X. That also ended on a cliffhanger, and it still hasn't been resolved yet. So, I despise cliffhangers in games. I like it in movies because, for the most part, they will get resolved, but they just seem like a curse in video games.
Thing. We can go into overtime. Come on! Come on! No! No! Oh my goodness, no! We were in overtime and we would have gotten it if we had just gone a little bit further. Oh, that was a good place for them to put a splat bomb, but oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's why I still not hold the Rainmaker. I am not good with controlling it. Let's try it again. Try it again.
Alright, so right here I'm going to cheat a little bit in editing because I'm going to jump way down here and move over towards this stage because I remember off the top of my head that the last stage we played was the other one that was in rotation. So luckily for us, we don't have to watch through like a bazillion hours of footage to get to what we need. And also, fair reminder, my filter for playing online games isn't quite that good, so if I swear a couple times during this next match, then I greatly apologize, because I know I don't swear that much for videos. Alright then. Where's the last thing? Up here. Delete this. Then head over here. Come down here, and there we go. I burped.
A fun story. First main stage, okay. Alright, so I have a bit of... Starfish.
That's a trimmer right there. Alright. Let's see how else we're going to transition
controlling
this.
it. Let's try it again.
Big Government says the cliffhanger on Earthbound was resolved in Japan. Like Sci 5 is still possible, Sly 3 is ending, however, and in a way where a sequel could or could not have happened. Of course, Sly 4 did happen 8 years ago, but ended with the cliffhanger. Yeah, it's not the best thing in the world when games have cliffhangers and stuff. It is rude.
Starfish main stage, Starfish main stage, Starfish main stage, okay. Alright, so I have a bit of a fun story. If you saw, I believe, the previous episode, depending on whether or not I'm thinking my video schedule correctly, we've already seen Tower Control by the time this footage is being uploaded.
Nope, we have not seen Tower Control yet. So this is awkward. Alright, so what do I want to do here? Because I haven't shown Tower Control off yet in the Let's Play. So do I go find a Tower Control match or just leave it as is? Today... Big Armor says, didn't the Golden Sun game for DS have a cliffhanger that was never resolved? I want to say yes. I don't know. Everybody's gonna say 8 years later, so 4 happened, not 8 years ago. Okay, in my defense, your grammar is really weird, Brandon. Your grammar is really hard to read at times.
So you may remember that Tower Control is my least favorite of the ranked battle modes. So I'm legitimately surprised that so far in recording this Let's Play, we've had better luck with Tower Control than Rainmaker. I find that kind of funny because usually it's the opposite way, where I have better luck with Rainmaker than Tower Control. So that's something that's kind of amusing. Right, come on, come on, come on. Just a little bit further. Yes! Perfect victory! Yes! 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 This is such a beautiful sight! Okay. I'm gonna call it quits for this episode because I kind of don't want to play Rainmaker anymore because I was having such terrible luck at the beginning of this recording session. So we're gonna wrap it up this time for Splatoon 2. So thank you all so much for watching this episode, and until next time, Lady Gear to you. Oh yeah.
Alright, so that's the end of that video. And now you get to see how I do end screens. Remove that. Remove that. So what I like doing is I like to have a 2-second credits part right there. Simply because that just seems like a good amount of time. And here is the end screen. Do that. Fast fade in, slow fade out. Fade to black. And let's see how well that works.
Here to you. Oh yeah.
Okay, so I'm not going to be rendering the video on screen because rendering an HCU video takes a couple hours, and I don't want to just sit here and do nothing. So by the time this video comes out, it may or may not be different than what you've seen right now, because I'm considering adding in a tower control match in there just for the sake of what we were talking about during that last match. But I'm probably going to be doing that off screen because I'd like to move on to another video pretty soon. So I'll save that. And what I'm going to be doing next, we are not going to be moving on to Majora's Mask quite yet. But I'm going to be going to intermission real quick because I'm going to change over this screen because I'm going to make a little note for myself on my Splatoon 2 notes. I don't want to solve my Splatoon 2 notes quite yet because there's some spoiler stuff in here, so I'm not going to be doing that. Excuse me. Note to self. Add tower control match in episode 7. You know, actually, I probably could show the screen. So this is where I keep my Let's Play notes. So all of this is stuff that I'm actively working on at the moment. This is for Let's Plays I'm currently doing. Bonus video stuff that we'll be doing later. This right here is where I keep archives of stuff that I've already completed, but these notes took a little while, so I want to keep them on here. Earthbound is pretty interesting. Let's pull this one up real quick. Prior to a major project I'm working on right now, which I can't talk about because of spoilers, this was the biggest Let's Play that I'd ever worked on. So... Whee! Woo! This took about 2 years to make because a lot of sources on Earthbound weren't that great until a couple years ago. So it wasn't exactly the best thing in the world, and as you can see right here, the major project is its own thing. So that's pretty fun. So over here, I had some gaming gallery intros because we're going to be working on season 2 pretty soon. Collab stuff for versus thingies. But now, let's move on to Majora's Mask. Next episode was episode 7. And while that loads up, let's look at the chat. Panic Armor says, I want to make a game that has a unresolved cliffhanger just to make people upset. Panic Armor says, yeah, for endings, good crying in Splatoon, like how all of us do in solo, time Force Awakens. Oof, the feels. I have notes and screens in my videos. Big Manipulator says that's a lot. I don't even make notes for my helpies. I didn't make notes when I first started out making videos, actually, speaking of notes, I need to pull up my Majora's Mask notes for this next video. But when I was starting to do more complicated games, like 3D Zelda games and stuff like that, the reason why I write notes for myself is because I want to make sure that I know what I'm doing when I get into the project. So, for example, let's pull up my Majora's Mask notes real quick. I have a list of heart pieces. I have the masks. Basically, all the information I want demonstrated during the Let's Play. It's all written here. And I won't go any further because spoilers. The reason why this says 5 rather than 1 is because we've already collected 4 heart containers, heart pieces at this point in the series. So that's something that's pretty well worth mentioning. Alright then. Looks like it's all here.
Ow! Rude!
Oh, yeah, the intro here was dumb. Alright. So the thing about Majora's Mask is that because I don't know where my audio cable is at this time, the game audio and my microphone are being recorded on the same audio track, so that's not exactly the best thing in the world, and I do greatly apologize for that. But let's get started with Majora's Mask.
Ow! Rude! Hey everybody, it's here to you, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D. In the previous episode, we stormed the Deku Palace, and we weren't able to save the monkey. But now we know our mission. We know what we must do. We must go this way. or something like that. Alright then, so we're going over here, and now that we know the way to the Woodfall Temple, let's go onward.
Alright, one thing that I need to bring up real quick is earlier in the Let's Play I was talking about these screen title things. For whatever reason, the lettering appears a little bit glitchy on the video, and I didn't realize what was going on until recently. The way the 3DS works is that it kind of has like two different screens, one for each eye and things like that. My 3DS capture card captures the screen that's being displayed on your right eye. So, for whatever reason, they programmed it so that these letters get all jumbled and stuff on the right eye screen. So it's not exactly the best thing in the world, and I play this game with the 3D turned all the way up because I like the stereoscopic 3D. But, without further ado, let's keep going.
Going over here, we're going to be introduced to another one of my personal favorite enemies in Majora's Mask. This is the Dragonfly. As long as you stay away from its tail, it's no big danger. Now, I've already praised the sniper enemy, but I really love fighting these guys too. They're just so much fun. Basically, anything that involves using the Deku Flower to fight, I'm more than okay with using because it's just so much fun popping out the Deku Flower and then destroying them. This is so much fun. Down there, there's that building right there. That is something that we're going to be taking care of a little bit later in the Let's Play. Not quite yet, but we will at some point. So we go over here, and we go this way. And something that's pretty well worth mentioning is this cliff over here. This is where you would have learned the Song of Soaring's location in the Nintendo 64 version. You come up here, and then the cutscene would play of you learning the song. Honestly, I always thought it was a very weird place to teach you the Song of Soaring, so I'm really glad that they changed its location. Also, I don't know if I acknowledged this yet, but this save statue right here, you go up to it and you can save your game, but it will not act as a teleportation area. I'm really glad that's there, because they put those in some pretty convenient locations where you would want to save your game, and it's just a really great system in the game. You can save your game there, but you can't exactly teleport. I think that's a pretty good compromise. Now, it would have been nice to be able to save your game at any time, but the game wasn't designed with that in mind, so I do understand why they didn't add that to the remake. Going over here, we can open the treasure chest and collect our sweet, sweet reward, red rubies. Red ruby, do. Red ruby, do. Alrighty then, over here. And we're going to be introduced to an enemy that I honestly don't really care that much for. Hiploops are hot-headed, so it'll charge if you look it in the eye. If it comes at you, assume the defensive position. I don't like these enemies. I always have a really hard time fighting them, especially if I try to find them with melee weapons and things like that, like the Deku Spin or Link's Sword. Best advice I can recommend, have magic available so you can use your Deku Bubbles to destroy them. And they shouldn't be that big of a problem. I will say, I do not like the camera angle at all when you're fighting them because it gets in a very weird spot and makes it a little bit hard to control. And now, the screen's getting smaller.
I always love that effect on Majora's Mask, how the screen gets smaller.
I love how the 3D effect looks when the screen's getting smaller. It's just so cool.
Well, basically, that just right there. Dawn of the second day. 48 hours remain.
It's the dawn of the second day. With only 48 hours remain, we don't have a whole lot of time left to fool around. Kind of. We do have the Song of Time, but you know what I mean. We go over here, and there's another fairy fountain. Kind young one, please hear my plea. Please find the stray fairies trapped inside Woodfall Temple and bring them back to us. So, this is something that I'm going to want to talk about real quick. In the Nintendo 64 Let's Play that I did of this game, I handled stray fairies very differently than most other Let's Players of this game. Most other Let's Players, they What they usually do is handle the stray fairies alongside the rest of the dungeon, but what I did instead was I handled them separately. Like, I focused on the dungeon first, and then stray fairies afterwards as a separate video. And looking back on the Let's Play, this was one of the very few things about that Let's Play that I actually liked. It was one of the very few things I thought was an interesting idea that actually worked for the series. It's just a... we don't even get to see the Deku stick. It's there, I promise, it's just... we can't see it. But yeah, that was one of the very few things about the original Let's Play that I actually liked. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we do that? There's going to be a little bit of time between recording videos between this one and the next one. So what we're doing is, there is a Zelda Discord server that the G8RStreams has set up. It's a great place to talk about Zelda games, and I'm going to be using this Discord server as a means to help out with this Let's Play. So, the first thing I'm going to be doing, on the day that I'm recording this, April 26, 2019, that dated the video, but I'm just going to say right now, on this day, I'm going to be posting on the Discord server, asking people what we should do about the stray fairies. And I'll let you guys know the results in the next episode. But the reason why I'm mentioning it right now, is because... OW! OW! Wow, we got comboed.
Alright, so while past me screams like a little girl, I'm going to talk about this real quick. The thing I was talking about with the Zelda Discord, it is still going to happen where we'll have different points during the Let's Play where the Discord server can affect what we're going to be doing during the Let's Play. But this first question is a bit interesting because the people who responded to this question on the server, I think they meant what, when they were answering, I think they were thinking that I was talking about their own personal experiences because I think they weren't exactly sure that what I was talking about. So a lot of them answered with their own personal experiences. So with all that in mind, what I ended up deciding to do was a lot of the people on the server said that they'd handle the stray fairies at the same time as Woodfall Temple, but at the same time it sounded like they were talking about their own personal experiences rather than talking about what works better for a walkthrough. So for the Let's Play, we're going to be doing what we did with the original, where we focus on the dungeon first and then a stray fairy montage after the dungeon's complete.
What I was trying to say, if I can defeat this guy, let me defeat you! Come on. Be defeated. Be defeated. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Alright. So yeah, what I was trying to say was, the reason why I'm mentioning that right now is because it's actually going to be a common theme we're going to be doing throughout the Let's Play. We're going to be using the Zelda Discord server to vote on things we'll be doing throughout the project. And the first instance of this will be voting on how we're going to be handling stray fairies. So let's go over here, destroy you, and head over here. And there's a super shiny treasure chest of awesomeness we can go open. Oh my god, what could it be? 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 Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! You got...
Alright, so this is how I edit the heart piece things. So whenever I get a heart piece, I look through my notes to see where exactly it was, which one we picked up. So this right here, at the end of Woodfall Path. Copy that. Add caption on screen. Put that over there. And delete. Dun dun dun. Copy that. Then move to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There we go. And this is a fun part too, because putting these captions on screen and trying to make them readable is not exactly the most easiest thing in the world, because these games are really, really colorful. Alright, so now that we've taken care of that, I always feel real weird just copy pasting it, so even though I already did copy paste it onto here, I just like typing it up anyway. At the end of the Woodfall Temple path and delete. So 9 seems to be the sweet spot for how long it takes to read a caption. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Now, objectively, what I could probably do is have these organized in a way that I could just go like this and delete from there. The reason why I didn't do that was because I organized these based on regions, because that's just the way that I feel like editing, working on those Let's Play notes. Right. Let's see if anybody in the chat saying anything. Pick Manipulator says I gotta head off now. Later. Bye, Pick Manipulator. Thank you for coming. Bank Government says as far as I got in the Nintendo 64 version. Every time I think of Majora's Mask and Red Rubies, I remember Joe Conray's Red Rubies Scream in its LP of Majora's Mask. Screaming Warning. Dungeon first, then Stray Fairies is the best way. Yeah, that's how I'm going to be handling it during the series.
You got the thing! You got the piece of art. Yeah. And because we activate the statue, we don't need to do any stinking walking around here. We can just use the amazing powers of teleportation. And this menu right here, this is honestly one of my favorite changes that they made in the 3DS version. This menu was really hard to control in the Nintendo 64 version, because if you wanted to move down, you had to press not the down button, the left button. I don't understand why they did this. It was so weird, and I honestly don't get it. But now the controls normally, you want to move down, you press down on the circle pad. I don't know why this needed to be changed in the first place, because it should have just been there in the Nintendo 64 version, but I digress. I really hope I'm using that phrase correctly, because I never say that phrase. But anyway, we're at the entrance to the temple, so there's nothing left to do but play some music.
The Sonata of Awakening.
Man, the effect of the water of the temple rising out of the water and the water slowly going down. Oh, I just love that effect so much, and it still looks impressive on the Nintendo 64 version. It's just so cool. Alrighty then, so that's gonna be it for this episode of The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D. In the next episode, we'll be going inside Woodfall Temple. And the next time, need to give it to you. Oh yeah.
Alrighty then. So that's it for this episode. Take care of all that. So now we're going to have this have a bit of a fast fading out thingy. And then add in the end screen. If you guys want, I can show my process for making these end screens. Where is the thing? There it is. Fade to black. And blue. There we go.
And the next time, need to give it to you. Oh yeah.
Bank Government says, I hate word controls. Karen Groves Gaming says, Mario 64 DS has word controls. That was quicker than Splatoon 2. Yeah, Majora's Mask is way more simplistic to edit than Splatoon 2. That's why I usually have more than one project going on at once, because I usually have a big project that takes a long time to work on, like Splatoon 2, and paired up alongside it is something more simplistic, like Majora's Mask. With Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, this was something that I honestly had a hard time trying to figure out when I wanted it to happen, because on one hand, it could have happened as a filler series between Let's Plays, but I decided against that because I wanted to get started with Splatoon 2 because it's been in the works for a very long time. We already have episode 8 rendered. What's the next one? What's our next episode? Which video file was this? DLC number 4. Alright, so this is what we want to do. And I really hope this is going to work. Nope! Okay, so I guess we're not editing Captain Trash Tracker today. HD videos on Movie Maker have to process first before you can start editing them. I didn't take that into consideration before starting this, so it looks like we're not going to edit Captain Trash Tracker today. Because it takes a little while to get these to process, and I have multiple videos I need to get done. But we did edit Splatoon 2 and Majora's Mask. And that is not what I want to do at all. There we go. Alrighty then. So, yeah, that was a pretty fun stream. I'm really glad that this turned out this was a lot more smooth than what we did last time. Because I remember the first time that I tried making a Let's Play stream, it didn't exactly work out that well. So, yeah, if you guys want me to keep doing these, that'd be pretty fun. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to be doing them too often because a lot of the times when I'm editing a video, I have a lot of things I like to keep surprise. So having a stream like that beforehand would kind of ruin the surprise. But if you want to see more editing streams, feel free to let me know. Thank you all so much for coming out today, or tonight, or whatever time it is where you live. Next stream will definitely be Link's Awakening, because I really want to get back into playing that game. Probably won't be this week, maybe next week, but Splatfest is next week, and I'm busy with college and things like that. But tomorrow, Splatoon 2, Majora's Mask day after, Captain Trash Tracker day after that, and then we'll be going back on our regular schedule. On the game channel, we got Super Mario Bros. 3 co-op and Mario Kart 7 co-op for you to check out. And it's going to be super pretty fun and awesome and things like that. I'm really terrible at stream outros, aren't I? Then, Creepers Gaming says, so in the E3 discussion tonight, is it just 3 of us or James coming too? James will be with us during the discussion. I don't know why he's suddenly quiet on group chat, but yeah, he told me he'd be there. Editing streams are fun. If you should do more of these. You better answer the question before you end the stream. Yeah, James will be in the thing with us. So when the 3 predictions discussion comes out, now you know what day it was recorded. Alright then, so thank you all so much for watching the stream, and next time, leave gear to you. Oh yeah, I voice cracked during the outro because I'm the best at streaming. Not really. Bye.